Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy by taking advantage of rebates from Avista. Like 15 cents a square foot for new attic insulation, $35 for installing a smart thermostat, or $2,300 for switching from electric to natural gas heat. And all that savings reduced carbon emissions by more than 18,000 tons. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
Welcome to Startup Spokane, where hosts Steve Traben, Ryan Arnold, and Megan Garrett explore the excitement and momentum growing throughout Spokane's expanding startup community.
Welcome to Startup Spokane on Spokane Talks Online, your podcast home for everything startup and entrepreneurship related in the Spokane region. I'm your host, Steve Traben, and today I'm joined by my co-host, Megan Garrett. Yay, we're finally together again.
Back together again.
As you know, Startup Spokane is a program of Greater Spokane Incorporated. We are here to provide you with our region's story of entrepreneurship and educate you about the resources that exist in our region's ecosystem. We want to share ways for you to plug in and connect to those resources so that if you're launching or growing a business, you have what it takes to be successful. At Startup Spokane, we're building an ecosystem not only that's attractive but to our native entrepreneurs, but also to people who are looking for the place to launch their next business. Megan, why don't you take it from here and let's get this party started.
All right. So as you know, we are in our summer resource series, and today we are going to continue that series with our final episode. And that series has really been focusing on sort of what entrepreneurs can do on their summer break. And today we will be focusing on resources for minority-owned and women-owned businesses. And so I'm really excited because we are joined by Camryn, Flynn, and Nichole Hansen from SNAP and the Women's Business Center. So let's get started with some brief introductions. And Camryn, we'll start with you, and then Nichole, you go ahead and jump in after. And let's just talk briefly, introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about what you do with the SNAP organization.
Great. Thanks, Megan and Steve. This is Camryn Flynn, and I am the Business Development Coordinator for SNAP Financial Access. SNAP Financial Access is actually a subsidiary of SNAP, Spokane Neighborhood Action Programs, and we are a community action program where SNAP came out of the war on poverty 50 years ago. So we're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. We've had all kinds of parties and all kinds of excitement for our 50th. And SNAP Financial Access is actually a CDFI, a Certified Financial Development Institute, that we received a certification for about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we started giving out loans in our programs, and over the past 10 years, it has grown, and we've given out 358 loans, and we have supported the ecosystem with $3.2 million of loans in the programs.
Wow, that's amazing.
Excellent. Yeah. Nichole, why don't you talk to us a little bit about who you are and what you do for SNAP?
Thank you very much. I am Nichole Hansen. I've been with SNAP for a year and a half, and I'm a business development consultant and specialist. And I primarily work with small businesses to receive funding through loans from SNAP Financial Access. And then I also do a lot of community outreach and marketing to get the word out about what we have to offer for small business owners.
Great. Let's talk a little bit more about what these loan programs look like for our entrepreneurs. I mean, there's some characteristics of the programs, Camryn.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, first of all, let me just give you kind of the lay of the land in relationship to business development services. We have both a lending arm, and we have a women's business center. And so, and they blend, they certainly work together. The Women's Business Center does training and consultation and does a lot of the pre-loan activities, and then they get transferred over to a professional like Nichole. We are a team of 8 professionals, and that goes from anywhere from this pre-loan activity, all the TA, supporting the business plans, supporting training and consultation, and then they move into a loan proposal. So first of all, let me just tell you that the lending services is funded by a numerous number of funders. It includes Small Business Administration. A majority of our funds come from Small Business Administration, and that is the lead funder on our Women's Business Center as well. We have the Office of Refugee Resettlement that has a tremendous amount of money that is being poured into the community, because many people in Spokane do not realize that we settle close to 600 to 800 minorities in refugees in the community. We receive funding from City of Spokane, Spokane County, Office of Community Services, Department of Treasury, and we are fortunate to have many partners such as Numerica, Chase, JP Morgan Chase, Umpqua, and all of those, Northwest BDA. I'd be remiss if I missed them. Mm-hmm. So what ends up happening is that many of those funders also have an opportunity to lay out criteria for us as well in how we, shall we say, shape our loan. So we have individuals who come to us and they are looking to start or expand their businesses. Typically, our loans are ranging from $500 to $50,000, and we do over $50,000 under special circumstances. One thing that SNAP is very well known for is our truck loans for the refugees, long-haul trucking, and we are also very well known to be doing a lot of food service, food trucks, restaurants, bar and grills. One of the things, I've been in my position for 2 years, and one of the things that I'm really pleased about is that I can go around town and I'm like, that's one of us. We started that loan. Oh, we started that business. And we have a lot of repeat customers, but one of the major goals that we have at Snap Financial Access, particularly in the business development services, is to get businesses ready for the commercial industry so that they can go back to be loan ready in the regular banking systems.
So you work then with people who maybe they just have started with a business idea or maybe just got that business license and they're really just kind of getting started and maybe they're not quite ready yet for traditional financing?
Exactly. They may not have the credit they're looking for, the collateral that they're looking for, and we have the ability to take a full picture of cash flow, collateral, and the character of the individual, and mission fit. So
Nichole, why don't you talk for a minute about how you, there's an education and counseling portion of what you do and around the loan programs, right? So someone comes in, they have a business idea, they may have some semblance of a business plan, but you actually really, dive into the details and help prepare them to be loan ready. So do you want to talk just a little bit about what that process looks like?
Sure, Steve. Well, what I do is I sit down and I take a little needs analysis and a kind of a snapshot of their idea and their dream. And then I work with them to develop a well-founded idea that's budget friendly and also doable for the number of people they have that are helping them. Some have resources that they can draw on and others do not. So sometimes it's a one-man show and I don't want them to overburden themselves and plan on taking on too much too fast, because we want them to have growth, but we want sustainable growth.
Great.
We also work on understanding how cash flow works, budgeting, and how to plan for down times or slow times so that they're prepared in case they have their business might falter. They have a plan B in place to help recover.
So not only, it sounds like, do you get them prepared to be loan ready, but then you also get them prepared to have the financing so they can actually start this business and get it off the ground. So that's great. It sounds like you've got a lot of that kind of financing component going. But so let's talk a little bit about what else SNAP does. What other things does the organization? I know we're going to talk about the Women's Business Center when we come back from our break, but what else does the organization Snap Financial Access provide to entrepreneurs in our entrepreneurial ecosystem?
Well, the first thing is very often people are struggling with their credit or financial education. So we have a component of financial education. People are able to come to classes for free, credit building, being able to save for money, such as individual deposit accounts. So we have those types of programs. We also do a lot of training and consultation, which means we have classes in technology, we have classes in a variety of accounting, finance, taxes, and that is all through our Women's Business Center at this time.
No, that's great. And I'd like to dive in more on that after our break. Camryn, would you tell people, our listeners now, how do they get a hold of Snap if they're interested in taking advantage of your services?
Yeah, so it's fairly easy, snapwa.org. There's an application. It's a very simple little inquiry sheet that you can go on snapwa.org or call 456-SNAP.
Right. And one of the loan programs that you didn't mention is Avista's loan program, and I would be remiss if I didn't bring that up. But as part of the education that we're providing for entrepreneurs from the community colleges, from Spokane Valley Tech, the different boot camps and alike, we're making the loans available to entrepreneurs as well, right?
Yes, and after the break, we can tell you a couple of examples.
Okay, great. Well, we're having a great conversation with Camryn Flynn and Nichole Hansen from Snap Financial Access and the Women's Business Center. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us here on Startup Spokane.
Congratulations! You found where Spokane Talks online. Tell your friends.
To help you be safe, Washington state law requires you to call 811 2 full business days before you plan, for example, to dig, drill, plow, pull from, or pound anything into the ground. Be prepared to provide the operator with the correct address, cross street, and the description of your work. You must mark the dig area with white paint. The operator will inform you of the utilities notified of your impending excavation. Wait for all their marks. Be safe and dig with care.
This is Sammy Eubanks. Join me daily at 3:30 for Local Motion on SpokaneTalksOnline.com.
If you need a sign, banner, or business cards for your business, who do you call? Hi, this is Kent Adams.
And Tom MacArthur from Business Talks. Kent and I call Instant Sign Factory for our signs, banners, business cards, and more.
Dave at Instant Sign Factory is our go-to guy for printing, and he always does excellent work for us.
Check them out online. They've got an all-new website, InstantSignFactory.com.
Tell them Kent and Tom from Business Talks sent you. Instant Sign Factory.
A special thank you to our friends at Tom Sawyer Country Coffee, the official coffee supplier here at Spokane Talks Online.
Welcome back to Startup Spokane on Spokane Talks Online, where we're talking to Camryn Flynn and Nichole Hansen from Snap Financial Access and the Women's Business Center. Right before break, we were just about to talk about some loan examples, I think from the Avista Fund, actually, or Avista Loan Fund. So, Nichole, would you just give us a couple of brief examples of some of the loans we've made in that program?
Sure, definitely. This spring, we helped a gentleman with an expansion of his janitorial business. And he came in, we helped him through the process. He was approved for his Avista loan. He had completed his education through the community college program. And then he turned around and paid off the loan in 3 months.
Yeah, and and I understand he paid it off because he had such great cash flow from new clientele. So he was growing his business and said, you know what, I've got the money coming in, I'm paying it off, and he's off and
it was marvelous to see him. He was so proud when he came in and he was able to give us a check to pay off that loan.
And my recollection, because I'm part of the loan committee, is that there was quite a considerable amount of counseling and coaching with him to get him prepared for the loan process. So again, your Snap Financial Access is really offering a full suite of services for these people. And how about one more example?
Sure. We also have helped a startup business that delivers pet food locally. So it's a very unique niche market, and they have done really well. And I see them on Facebook a lot, and I see them on various other activities. They are really active in the community with their pets, and they've done very well in promoting their business.
Yeah, and she's a graduate of the community college entrepreneurship program, and this gentleman was African American. So as we're talking about minority-owned businesses, both of those examples, I think, kind of align nicely for this program.
Yeah, and I think that's a great segue into talking about. So we know we've talked a little bit about SNAP and the overall programs that you offer, but one of the specific things within SNAP Financial Access is the Women's Business Center, and I think it would be great for our listeners to know a little bit more about what that is. So Nichole or Camryn, either one of you, just hop right in and talk to us a little bit about what is the Women's Business Center and what does that do for the entrepreneurial community and what kind of resources are there to access?
Well, great. I'll start there. And the Women's Business Center is now in its third year of operation, and it was started out of the SBA and the Women and Minority-Owned Business segment of SBA. And we received a 5-year grant to support women and others. We always are asked, if I'm male, can I attend? And yes, of course. The grant dictates that we actually serve 51% women or minorities and veterans. So we do a lot of outreach and community efforts through the Women's Business Center. Kara Weipert, who is our manager there, is everywhere. She's well known in the community. And we do a model where we do a lot of training, and then out of the training we have consultants that are doing the training for us, and we pay for that through our SBA grant. And they then offer one-on-one consultation, anywhere from 10 to 20 hours. Individuals get to, be it that it's web design, social media, tech, let's say financial education. There are so many classes that are coming out of the Women's Business Center at this point in time. About 600 people attend classes over the course of a year.
Wow. So that one-on-one consultation, is that like a person would come in with an idea to start a business, and is that kind of like mentorship?
It is like mentorship. It's, we like to think of it as a consultation. We're here to support them, to meet the client where they are, and to move them to the next step and to get them as much knowledge as possible. So Nichole does a lot of training and consultation through the Women's Business Center, so I'll let her speak to that.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we will work directly with that client on a specific issue that they might be having in their business. It might be that they need more information about marketing, or maybe they want to develop a website or a Facebook page, and we can help them and we have consultants that specialize in that. And then a lot of times I will work with them specifically on developing their business plan and getting more details or fleshing out areas where there's not enough information. We also look for holes that might be an issue in the future, and try and plug those and make it as strong as possible.
So are these services, are they free, or does it cost money to attend, the training and get the consultation? And talk a little bit about what the model looks like for our listeners.
So for the past 2.5 years, we have been working with the model of all those classes have been free. Unfortunately, or as we look through our budget, and we have moved to a 1-to-1 match now with the Small Business Administration, which causes us to look at the budget to say, how else can we bring in revenue? So we are pulling together an advisory committee, and we have gone out to get money from Chase as well as Washington Trust as well as Umpqua, but we still are short in the sense of supporting the services that we want to provide. So we are starting to charge the next grant period, and that starts September 30th.
Okay, and what will that look like? Is it a nominal amount of money?
It is nominal. Okay. When you compare it to other in the ecosystem, we are, for a series, a web technology class would be about $40.
Okay, good. Okay. So I think that's really helpful. And SNAP also, you have some other programs. I remember hearing about a technology grant and different things outside of traditional loans and counseling that you make available. Can you talk about a few of those?
Yes, we did have a technology grant, and that was able to support them to purchase computers. In fact, is one of the Vista recipients actually was a partake of that and got a computer and got web technology, web design consultation. One of the things that we are fortunate to be in partnership with the city of Spokane right now is the Youth Entrepreneur Program, which is a program for 18 to 24 years old. And actually, Nichole has been teaching that class. We just finished a cohort of individuals who came through that class. And what that enables them to do is get some of the background, some of that basic business education, and then allows them to access loan proceeds. So.
Excellent. And so I want to, before we get too far, great question, Steve, but before we get too far off the Women's Business Center, I want to just pop back to it real quick, Nichole, and ask you to tell our listeners how they can access that.
456 SNAP, and then our location is 500 South Stone. Hours are 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday.
So really, I mean, they can just walk in?
Yes, they can walk right in.
So it's not, so the loan program, you want them to go to snapwa.org. But for the Women's Business Center, they can basically just walk in and or call.
And we usually have the coffee on, and they can come in and use the lending library. There's free Wi-Fi, and there are phones available, and you could use it as a shared office space.
Great. And then are you advertising, or how are you promoting? How do people find out about not just the Women's Business Center, but a lot of these workshops that we were talking about?
Yeah, okay.
We advertise they're on our website. They also are on the SBA website for training services in the area. A lot of word of mouth. People like to talk about what they get through SNAP. And then we also promote ourselves by going to events, talking about what we do. We have to be our own cheerleaders some days.
And we cheer for you as well. You're on the Startup Spokane calendar as well. You're on the Startup Spokane calendar for our community classes and stuff that we list there as well. And so we talked a little bit about, I think it would be interesting to know, we talked a little bit about the types of businesses that you see coming through for the loan application. And but I think it'd be interesting, Nichole, if you want to give us just kind of a snapshot maybe of the different kinds of businesses that you see coming through the Women's Business Center. Give us a snapshot of what those types of businesses look like.
So I wrote a little list.
Oh, great.
So I wanted to be a little bit prepared. So we have worked with bakeries, over-the-road truckers, beauty and personal care, so estheticians, beauticians, microblading, tattooing.
Steve needs some of that, I bet.
The brows are thinning a little bit. It's, really quick and easy. We also have food trucks, lots of food trucks, and coffee stands, chimney cleaners, contractors, landscape contracting. There's just
so it really runs the gamut, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. You never know what's going to walk through the door.
Well, and you know what? I mean, what an incredible resource SNAP is in the Women's Business Center for our entire community. And I think you focus primarily in Spokane County.
We do.
Isn't that correct?
But majority of our funding is for Spokane County, but we do rural outreach.
Right.
We have a loan out in Clarkston, Washington right now, and in Yakima.
So people shouldn't worry about their geographical location. And then again, I mean, you mentioned you have a lot of partnerships with other certified financial organizations that you can either partner with or you can refer people to.
That is correct.
So they shouldn't worry too much about, okay, do I fit within
There's
the criteria?
no wrong door.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Great. Anything else that we haven't talked about with SNAP?
Well, one of the things I wanted to mention very quickly was a food truck project, an incubator program for refugees that has just started. And we have a great partnership with Streetwise and Gathering House and the Northwest BDA and Washington Trust. Numerous people have stepped forward to actually purchase a truck in which will be a training ground for refugees in the food service.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really cool. So there you have it. This is our fourth and final episode of our summer resource series. So now you know what to do with the last few weeks of your summer break to keep your entrepreneurial endeavors moving forward. That's about, Kent's given us the signal from the booth. That's about all the time we have left today on our show. So again, a big thank you to Camryn and Nichole for joining us today. here on Startup Spokane Radio to tell us a little bit more about Snap Financial Access and the Women's Business Center. And we want to thank all of our listeners again for listening to our podcast. And join us next time. We're not sure what our next series will be, but you can guarantee that it'll be a profile of either some entrepreneurial success here in our community or another educational series to help you get plugged into the resources you need to be successful in either growing or launching your business here in Spokane. So we will talk to you next time on Startup Spokane.
Startup Spokane is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content. Ask a question, recommend a guest, and hear this program again online anytime at SpokaneTalksOnline.com. We wish you a great and profitable day.
Hi, this is Kent Adams, co-host of Business Talks. I'd like to introduce you to a couple of friends, Lisa and Alan Gwaltney of Window World. I've known Lisa and Alan for a number of years and know them to be honest and caring folks. They take pride in their windows, sliding doors, and blinds. So when it comes to your home, call them direct at 509-456-5880. That's Window World of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And if you tell them Kent sent me, they'll give you 5% off a 5-window installation. Call them today at 456-5880.